Welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. I have added in a new mod. This one here, the Clonan's upgrade planner, or builder and planner, which you are able to configure, and you then have this entity that you can use to upgrade belt. Not just belt, assembly machines, poles, boxes, all sorts of things really, inserters. And I have used it partly because I did notice that Green Circuits was having trouble at this end getting enough iron, so I upgraded the iron that was flowing there, which is this one. But I have also noticed that there's issues with the amount of copper getting through, so I have currently upgraded the smelters here. Actually, it looks like we are not getting the copper train back fast enough right now. That's copper 1. So that is interesting. Where's copper 2's train? It's on its way back now. Oh, copper 1 is, yeah, that's the one that was sitting there. So, copper 2, or was it copper 3? It looks like it should have had enough to fill it. This one already has the steel furnaces. This one doesn't have the fast enough belt, so it comes out a little bit slowly. So what we're going to do is we are going to first of all upgrade the belt, which will require a bunch of that. Also, we might as well grab both of those and both of those. As noted here, all I'm doing is upgrading belt. I've upgraded the smelters myself manually. Not that you absolutely need to, but I did it that way anyway. So let's just, this will actually capture the coal as well, but that will be okay. There we go. It looks like I picked up a bit of coal, which I probably would have preferred not to do, but I can cope for now. So you're all fast now. That's good. Let's just speed. Oh, what? Okay, that's not quite the desired result, but we'll live with it. Let's just upgrade all of that. Okay, so we have a bit of excess belt to get rid of. That's easy enough to do. We'll just come over here and donate all of that. Pick up the rest of this copper that's spilled around. Damn it. Right, that just gave me a whole heap of things that I really don't want. Okay, you can go in there and there. Actually, we could probably get rid of a bit of this stuff in that sort of way as well. How many are left? Not so many. A slightly different way to start our episode. We will be getting back to our huge build very soon. All this coal also needs to go. There we go. And this build needs to be upgraded. What I might actually do is see if I can pick up... I've set the smelters, these steel furnaces, to build 192. If we come into this config, we should be able to find stone furnaces, if we can remember where there they are, and turn them into steel furnaces. There we go. And let's apply that to this slot. Including everything to back here. Okay, that worked fairly well. And then this bit. I could probably do this one as well. Finally this bit here, assuming it will go far enough. Insufficient items. Alright. What did we run out of? Transport belt. Okay. Have a little bit of the other items, but let's deposit the excess of that in there. And that's probably not enough. It takes a little bit longer than that to get through the process. Belt. So yeah, these outer three. So let's just do the whole thing. Again, see how far it gets. Probably won't be able to finish it again. Oh no. It didn't tell me that time, but actually this outer rung was not done from this point onwards. Never mind, let's get rid of the excess coal. Wow. Yeah, we're probably going to have to upgrade those to stack inserters. Which we can do. In fact, I don't actually want to put that everywhere. But if we do wow, that's empty. And this one as well may as well be upgraded to stack inserters as well. I think I probably need lane balances in these two as an extra measure. Oh, we need some more red belt though if we're going to put them in. Wow, this one is already empty. Here it comes just in time. Yeah, we're certainly stripping away the value here very, very quickly. Oh, what's the problem here? We appear to have some belt at the end of that line as opposed to what we should have. Oh yeah, we're waiting on some more red belt. Okay, so that's one thing. I also don't want this, so you can go in there, and you can go in there. Another one is the power. So you'll notice that we now have a lot of solar power. This is off at the moment, which is great. That's a great situation. We kind of have to wait till the night starts falling for what I want to show you to actually have any effect. But, wow. So this is fairly close. I've actually got more than I want. What I want to do is go up to where the power is being generated. Are we getting towards night yet? There you go. So we've got all of this accumulator power, and it looks like the solar panels are dropping. I mean, the reason is we've put down 1,000 beacons, and they're using almost half a gigawatt. So all of this new solar that we've put down is working quite hard to support us, but we have these things firing, and I would argue that's long before they really need to fire. So let's head on up here. Actually, let's just see if the solar train has dropped off any more wood, because I have a wood burner up here, but I don't have a means to extract wood and bring it up there. No, it hasn't actually. I have a little bit of stone, but no extra wood, because we're just waiting on this to finish up the last 800 or so solar panels, which is the problem of this current unbeaconed little starter base. It cannot supply solar at the rate we would like to consume it, because our power is growing at quite a strong rate. It looks like solar's starting to take over. We got to about 40% of accumulator by then. This is dropping pretty fast now. So what I want to do is, there's a very simple thing I'm going to implement. It's just basically to not engage the coal power until we're significantly into accumulator power, first and foremost. Whoops, I have come too high. Oh, and you can see that we've done the next row here. I think we must be at 17. Yeah, 17. So it will go 18, 19, and the 20th, and it'll start covering this, unfortunately, but that's the way of it. The 20th will come back over here and be like a 0. So that's how it's working. But we need a bunch of solar panels for that to happen. Anyway, while we're here, so this is my wood burning one. That's fine. We just put wood and other things of that ilk in there. What I want to do is have an accumulator and wire this up using green wire, say. To there. To there. and to, whoops, I'm going to run out of this power very soon because I haven't given these wired segments an instruction. And the instruction is, if you look on the accumulator, A is the output signal. You can see that A is now in the 40%, so this one will be if A is less than, say, 60. What enable, disable, A is greater than 60. Alright, let's do that. So, in other words, the accumulators will run down until accumulator's fully charged now. So, actually, I got that wrong. A is 100 and it's doing things, so no, A is less than 60 is the one that I want. So yeah, the accumulator has to run down to 60% before these guys will kick in. Not the one right at the end here, that will kick in regardless, or not kick in depending on whether it has wood. Oh, and also, that's our iron patch that we started with, our 1.7 million. And that's our stone patch that we started with. And this down here is our copper patch. So yeah, we've moved on from the starting game. Little bits of help. At least we're getting some more built. Could perhaps use this to complete our earlier task. Come on, bots, hurry up. Yep, so that's basically that. And yeah, we need balances down here. We should have the resources for them now. Balancer. Oops. And the same down here. Okay, and down here, which actually should finish it off. And here, there we go. That's probably just about as good as we can get it, other than down here somewhere the belt didn't get upgraded from about here. And there we go. So let's have a look at power now. This is, it's still on because this didn't actually have time to wind out. There you go, it's wound out now. A is still at 100% though. It's only when the accumulator actually drops from that there might be an impact that should require the steam engines to start up. They're still able to do something, so they haven't shut off completely just yet. We'll have to check that again in a moment. How's this going? It is still not quite ready. 3,600. Okay, there's another 400 to go. So, I mean, really, the reason I bothered with this upgrade, the only reason really, was to try and get a slightly more concentrated flow of green circuits. I wonder if we could now support a little bit more coming through. It's not quite compact as it comes out. It looks like this is operating to the end, which is good. This one I don't really care about, it's just the bots. The build here seems to be working fully. This is the one. I actually added more logic here to stop this one just growing continuously, so it stopped now. This one we actually need, I think it's like 1100, which is 550 minutes. It's a very long time for building, so obviously we need a superior means to build these modules over what we're doing at the moment, which is clearly a little inferior. it might even just pay just to put speed modules in these ones that we've got. Where am I? Over here. Okay, let's do that. Because it doesn't actually cost that many speed modules to do it. We don't have that many. Yeah. Use 60 or so. So we've increased the speed from 1.25 to 3.75. So it's like we've tripled these, assuming that this flow of material can keep up. Hopefully it can. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is actually this thing here called Factorio Planner, which if you get, it's Duma actually, Duma is the thing. So this is how I'm calculating out now. Hopefully I won't make so many mistakes, but if you put in the correct bonus, which we are mainly concerned about the assembly 3 machines, 540%, and 40% productivity bonus. If we are trying to create rocket components or rocket parts, one of the things that we need is the rocket control unit. In many ways that's possibly the most difficult one to do. It's certainly the one that has the most circuits, and I want circuits because I can divert them into making modules. So this tells you how many assembly machines with these bonuses you need. Now the rocket control units, this one here. This calculation here is wrong because you don't get the 40% bonus. So we need to be a little bit careful of this bit. In fact, and all these other bits are correct, it's just this one here that's wrong. This actually needs to give you 5,700 and whatever it is, 5715, but the bonus is all wrong. So let's go back to Factorio for the moment, and have a look at what that bonus actually is. I think it's 11.25. I don't have enough speed modules. Do we have any new speed modules? We have about 22. That's probably not enough. Because we need it powered as well. If you were making rocket control units, that gives you a 3.75 speed, but you can actually do better than that. Is the maximum speed up that we can do. Let me just put one of these over here. We get 11.25 with no productivity, which is 800%. Now if we take all of those out and try and put productivity in, it does allow productivity, so actually the 540 and the 40% is fine. in which case I could carry on with those calculations, and I guess I will. So it's not the rocket part that I was actually worried about, it's the speed modules. Speed module 1. And as you can see, the productivity modules have been kicked out. So we have to do it this way, which will give us 11.25, and these other no productivity, so 800%. So if you then took that to Duma, you'd get a somewhat different result. So if we made that a 0 bonus and that 800, you need, actually this hasn't really changed, it's still 126 or 127 machines. Has this one changed though? $28,000 and 57,000. Let's just check those two numbers. Oh, they're going to be wrong actually, because I can't. They have a different bonus associated with them. Whoops. What did that say? 40S. Yeah, so that says it's 127. So either way, it's 127 machines. But this number, and probably this number, can't be based on this one anymore, I think. It has to be 5 times the higher number, so this is going to be a slight underestimation, which is a shame, because I actually had already calculated out what I thought I needed in terms of green circuits, going, well, I need 22 machines there, and another sort of 15 there, and then the 6 and a bit there, and the 43 there, to derive a number and think that I need exactly 2 of my setups, but that might not actually be the case anymore, unfortunately, because we need more. So my maths has all been completely thrown out. Never mind. And we are back. So this is going to be a bit of a mixed edit, I guess. I've done some corrections on Zoomer to see what we really need, and I've come to the following conclusion rather than go through all of that. Basically, we need 2 ions like all of this. We need 3 copper equivalents to all of that. The iron and the copper will feed into 5 joint red and green builds, which will be based around this sort of 820. So, for example, the top would all be red and the bottom would all be green circuit. That works quite nicely. It's basically 2 rows of green circuit. Effectively 3 in my 8 pattern, if you remember from the previous map. I developed a central copper cable that was able to feed 8 red circuit machines. Well, it's basically using that. So 5 of those being fed by the 2 iron, and which is not enough trains when it comes to iron. That's only 4 trains, but obviously they don't exhaust the iron as fast as the iron can be resupplied, each individual one, so that will be fine. And so what I'm thinking is, I mean, obviously these are massive supplies, but I'm trying to keep the train tracks from a train point of view, not from a player point of view, but from a train point of view, keep the train tracks really simple, to keep the train pathing and so on. Like train path at the moment, it's spending nothing, and trains is very cheap, but we don't have very many trains either. I wonder if I've got the... nope, that's how to find the whole surface. That's the trains, the number of trains. Oh, that's going to get rid of achievements. No, we won't bother with that at the moment. We'll do it some other time. But I'd rather the achievements can pop up when they do. I don't have the extended achievements on. That was just a bit of fun. Anyway, so you can see there's a very simple loop for the main train here. No pathing decision whatsoever. And I basically want to repeat that with another iron. I think I kind of left this so that we could do the same sort of thing here on this iron patch. Although you can see that these trains are absolutely hammering this supply, actually. In fact, it's already at a point where I probably need to add another row, just so that we can feed down here a little bit more efficiently. Yeah. Possibly even... Well, we could always have gone to bot mining, I suppose, but one wonders how long this whole thing's going to survive, because it's just not supplying me nearly fast enough. I need to finish out the first build. I need 1100 of these modules. We're only at 217, which is not great. I am intending to build this, and instead of directing it to the rocket control units, which was the intended, well, is still going to be the intended destination for it. In the interim, all of the circuits that we're making will end up going straight to a module build, a special module build, which will be a combined speed module and productivity module. I might make it twice as many speed modules as productivities, or an even higher ratio. Because if I look at, yeah, this for example, so that furnace build is 1.9k speed modules and 368, so it's basically more than 5 to 1 in favour of speed modules. So yeah, 3/4 of the build needs to be speed modules at the very least. And I'll keep this running even when we've got there, but we're a long way off it. So yeah, 5 joint red and greens, and that leads into, I think, another 5 joint processing units, speed module 1s, and rocket control unit units. And the value of doing these joint things is that you don't need another train to deliver all the interim products. They can all just do it in one. And if the ratios worked out, you could actually feed, you could do direct insert, but the ratios don't work particularly well with most of those. So aside from copper cable, there probably won't be a lot of direct insert, but still all being in the same contained unit will mean that we cut down on the total number of separate train load-unload deliveries. Although there will be obviously quite a bit of bot traffic, so we'll design it around minimizing the bot traffic. But that's basically how we're going to go about it. So what that means is I don't want to be crossing this line for any reason, so I'm going to put in another T-junction here and come up here and across to here, and remove all of this interim track. I might just do that as the last thing of this episode and sort out the timing via my edit. Yeah, I've got lots of excess built on me from upgrading the green circuits. I might have to try and do the same with red circuits. Good, I can throw all of those into there, those into there, those into there. So how am I for signals? I'm pretty good on signals. I might get some more big poles though, which of course I could have ordered. I keep forgetting, and I could order the rail as well, but I might just help myself to some. This is going to be perpetually full. Excuse me. Full. This will only load up if stone is less than 20, so that won't actually load a lot of stone unless we use the rail. I might even just tell it to keep building rail, but well, let's just take all of that and then tell it to keep building it. So that will use up some of the stone. You can see that we have 3,500 stone in storage, so these bots are going to come and deliver that from storage. Let's go and do these rail amendments. Let's head to there, but maybe pull off before we stop before we actually go down there. Just helps navigation past this point. The other thing I noticed, we're over 1 billion. We are now over 1 billion. 1 gigawatt of energy. So there is that as well. This guy probably wants to get through where we are. Too bad. We're important. Where I am is probably a great spot, so that's just going to have to stop. You need signals. And we need our OK rail. And I'm going to have to start running on the wrong direction to get out of everyone's way. Does that work? Yes, it does. Now, can you move? Yes, you can. Good. Okay. Find the straight section. And yes, I have employed InviniZoom at this point. Actually, what I could do is probably come down. Whoops. Well, that probably work. Now, at least from my perspective, on the correct side of the road and heading in the correct direction. So let's just keep going until we are over the top of this, so that I can use it for our massive furnacing. Oh, I should have paid attention to what I was doing. Never mind. Let's just back up. Whoops, back up. Do that one again, shall we? So, I mean, you can tell by just how big some of these supplies are, like our 1.1 G over here, that by the time we start getting some serious bonuses, probably doesn't matter too much Well, I could do this right here probably actually. Let's not worry about getting too fancy. Our sources of iron aren't really going to be drying up because we'll be going to much higher levels of productivity mining as well than we did in the last playthrough, so I'm much less concerned about trying to clear patches. I also have them far less frequently, although when you find them you do seem to find quite a few at once, so I hope I've left enough room there. I think I have. I actually probably didn't need as much rail as I took because we're going to reclaim the rail out of here anyway. Let's just get out and see what we can do with the corners. So yeah, that's basically what we are going to do, which means that all of this needs to go. Placed. Is this the only? No, this won't be the only wire. There'll be one at both ends. I really should fix that up so that this connects up seamlessly with my blueprints, but never mind. Just to be on the safe side. Not that I'm even using the wires at the moment, but that should connect everything up. This looks like it's too many of these. Let's get rid of that one. Now, I need to get out of everyone's way. Just do that, and hopefully we've got enough space to rip all this up. So right, from this point onwards, the rail, we'll go to the end and we'll come backwards. That will make more sense. And we'll also attend to trying to fix this up, although I might do that kind of between episodes. Bit of luck, the bots can keep up, keep all of this being removed. Obviously they can't. I need some bot speed, I need some infinite research happening as soon as possible. But at any rate, you can see the general idea. We've opened up a gap here, so we can now put in one of these big trains and have it head down this way, out of the way of here. And in fact, I could probably put several in there, but one will do. Because although it has a lot of surface area, it's not actually anything like our richest deposit, so it might not be the best one to exploit. to the maximum extent. Oh, come on, bots. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. I'm going to do some touch-ups here between episodes. And I look forward to seeing you in the next. So, bye-bye for now.